Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy K Sap, the man behind the mic, Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Wait till a few people come in. It's New Year's Eve, man. Start my drink off early with this moonshine. Trying out that moonshine. We're gonna get it popping here in a second. We're gonna. It's a lot of things going on in the world of sports, in the world in general. I'll wait till a few people get in there. I see you, Sean Ambush, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Thanks for rocking with a brother. But we're gonna kick some things off. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world of sports, and got a few topics that I want to go over. A few topics I want to discuss. I know everybody saw the fight Saturday night with Gervonta Tank Davis and Yoriski Gamboa. A lot of people been hitting me up, asking me what I thought about the fight. It was a very intriguing fight, to say the less. And it's a lot of Twitter. It's a lot of cats going back and forth on Twitter, man. You got Crawford going back on Twitter with Gervonta Davis. I mean, Crawford. He basically called out Gervonta Davis after the fight, saying, stay away from Lomachenko and Santa Cruz. But before the fight, Crawford came on his Twitter and he basically said that he had Gervonta Davis going to knock out Gamboa in the third round. Third round came, he didn't get him away, but that was Crawford's predictions. But after the fight, once he knocked him out in the 12th round, he later came back on Twitter and said that he fought a shot fighter. Gamboa ain't never been the same after he's fought me, which Crawford was referring to himself. But see, the thing about Crawford is, I watched that fight in 2014 when Gamboa and Crawford fought. And my take on that fight was, it was a few things that I saw that, Gamboa actually was dictating that fight through the first 6 rounds. And Crawford switched up to southpaw. But Gamboa was catching him. And even though Crawford hurt him in the 7th round, the 8th round came and Gamboa stunned Crawford. He made his legs shake a few, but Crawford got him out of there. But the thing about Gervonta Davis is he went 12 rounds, but he knocked him out in the 12th, which he still has that power in the 12th round. And the thing about these fighters, like a lot of people don't like Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people tuned in to watch Mayweather either lose or Mayweather, win. But at the same time, Mayweather was committed to the sport. He was pretty irritated at Gervonta Davis, coming into the fight because he didn't make weight. Now, I don't know what kind of training Gervonta Davis did, but that's one thing I've always said and I talk to people about in boxing, and that's the same thing that's happened to Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner has, failed to live up to the hype. I don't think he was committed to the sport. He was on social media too much. He partied too much. After the fight, a lot of drinking, would balloon up and then would struggle to make weight. And, struggling to make weight is hard in boxing. And that's one thing that Mayweather, he was committed. Mayweather was committed to the sport. Mayweather had never had trouble making weight. Never had trouble making weight. And to see, the thing about it is, them guys are committed. And that's the problem that Mayweather has with these fighters now. They're not committed because they struggle to make weight. They don't perfect their craft like Mayweather, and that's why Mayweather was in the sport so long. But all in all, Gervonta Davis, he said he's comfortable at 130 and 135, but he struggles to make weight. And you can see in that fight with Gamboa, as the rounds got later on, I think the wind was sucked out. And see, the thing about it is, everything was, he had flashes of doing some great things, but all in all, he held his own. Gamboa is a veteran. Gamboa know how to hold. He know how to, ring generalship. When he's hurt, he courageous effort fighting with. He said a ruptured Achilles, but that ruptured Achilles, I can't see a guy walking around, moving around the ring the way he did if his Achilles was ruptured. I tip my cap to Gamboa, and I've always said, I talked to my man DeJuan Hall about this always, about back in the days, there was a guy that fought in the welterweight class, Chop Chop Corley. He was the gatekeeper. He was the gatekeeper in that class, and he was a hard opponent, but he went out there and did the things that he had to do, and that's what Gamboa is doing. Gamboa is older now, but he's a veteran in the sport. He know how to hold on. And there was a fight that took place 2 weeks ago, the rematch of Tony Harrison and Jamel Charlo. And leading up to that fight, the first fight, I thought Charlo won that fight. But the refs saw otherwise. And Tony Harrison didn't really impress me that night. But 2 weeks ago when they fought, the war words, and they built the fight up, and Jamel wanted to go out there and take his head off. And the thing about it is, when he got out there and he was fighting, he was leaving himself wide open. He was throwing wild punches to start. He caught Tony Harrison with a left, dropped him. Tony Harrison got up, but then when Tony Harrison got up, the dog walked the dog down. To me, I thought Tony Harrison controlled that fight with the jab, ring generalship. The combinations, and Jamel was just trying to knock him out. But Tony Harrison, he stood in there, he stood his ground, and I thought he was winning the fight up until he got knocked out. And a lot of people had a problem with the stoppage, but me personally, I didn't have a problem with the stoppage. The stoppage after the second knockdown in the 10th round, 11th round, the ref should have stopped it then, but he let him get up and continue, and then he stopped it because he had him up against the ropes. He was throwing a flurry of punches, and Harrison never answered the punches, so the ref stopped it. So to me, it was a great stoppage. And I was also impressed to see my man Earl Spence, his interview to let the public know in the boxing world that, he's okay. And he's back in the gym, he's sparring, hitting the heavy bag, working the mitts, running. And it's a miracle that he's doing all that after the horrific car crash that he was in. But like I tell people, that car crash that he was in at this particular time, without him wearing the seatbelt, saved his life. It's kind of crazy I say that, but with the drop top down in the Ferrari, and he wasn't wearing the seatbelt, it saved his life. Because when the car flipped the first time, I think he was, thrown out the car then. So if he was wearing his seatbelt, most likely Earl probably wouldn't be here today. But there's a lot of things going on in boxing. I know the football season has wrapped up, and we're gonna touch on football, getting into the playoffs, and these coaches and things like that. So just want to shout out a few people, man, for tuning in. Bobby Ambush, I see you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Bernard Sims, man, I appreciate you tuning in. I see you, cuz Tina. I see you, and I appreciate you tuning in. I see you, Nikki. Thanks for tuning in. We got a lot of things going on with Simply Ball Dropping. Appreciate you tuning in, Leslie. And we got a lot of things going on. But back to football. The playoffs come. This weekend is going to be some great games. You got Tennessee and the Patriots. Then you got Minnesota and the Saints. It's going to be interesting, man. And a lot of people, since I'm out here in Dallas, a lot of people, got a lot of Cowboy people out here. Cowboy fans always hit me up, always want to poke jabs at me and everything when the Cowboys win, but when they lose, they know where to be found. But I just want to touch on that situation with the Cowboys and the coaching carousel that's going on right now with the Cowboys. It's kind of funny that, Jason Garrett been coaching for 10 years with the Cowboys, the tenure. And the thing about the situation that's going on right now is that he got himself a meeting yesterday. And the meeting that he had, I don't know what he did to convince Jerry Jones to give him another meeting today. And there's no decision going to come down either late tonight or sometime tomorrow on New Year's. But in this situation, I think that it might sound crazy, but I'm going to say this first. I don't know if they're working on a 2-year contract extension or giving him some, time to, tell all the other people in the organization goodbye, his farewell. But Jerry, he did right by Jason Garrett by not firing him because some personal ties there. So he contract up at the end of the year. He didn't want to let him go. He didn't want to fire him. He let the contract play out. But it's a sticky situation because with all these other coaches, man, it's cutthroat. Just like Pat Shermer with the New York Giants. 2-year tenure. Soon as the season was over, he was fired. The Cleveland Browns coach, Freddie Kitchens, soon as the season was over, he was fired. The organization with the Washington Redskins, I think that's a great hire with Riverboat Ron. And I think he got a chance to turn that organization around. The Washington Redskins got a lot of talent out there, but they just need that motivator to get that talent to do things. But the world of sports is wide open. College football, we got Clemson and LSU for the national championship game. I'll tell you one thing, that Joe Burrows, man, that kid is special, man. So I thought that Ohio State was going to do it, but Ohio State, they let me down. I think LSU is going to go and win the national championship. But there's a lot of things Simply Ball Dropping is going to do. We turning the page in the New Year's. We got new apparel coming out. We're going live on internet radio. Got a lot of guests that's going to be coming in. And, I like all your feedback on what you want to hear, what you want to listen to. We got it all. So, it's New Year's Eve. I'm going to toast up to y'all. I got my moonshine. All good podcasts always sit back and drink. So y'all let me know. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer it. Thanks for tuning in, Jay Sean. I see you. I see you out there. I see you out there, Jamie. I see you. Appreciate it. Bobby, what's going on, man? I see your son doing big things on that football field, Bobby. So, tell him to keep it up, man. Maybe he can be a guest on the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm here, man. If he wants to talk, tell his story about, how he, coming out of Frederick, playing with Linganore, making his name, going off to college. Let me know, man. We can sit down and chop it up, get him on the airways. And, he probably can reach out to the other youth, that's in the area that's trying to pursue their dream of going off to college and playing ball. So just let me know, man. We got it. But other than that, man, Simply Ball Drop just kicked back, doing some things, man. Just wanted to come to you guys, talk about a few things. I know everybody interested in this basketball season. It's kind of funny that, the Warriors, are not in the news no more because everybody's injured. And my thing is their whole fan base injured too? Because I don't hear nothing about them Warriors no more. But it is what it is. I guess that years of them beating up on LeBron, that's what everybody wanted. So that's when all the cheering was. I know there's a lot of people out there that's not a LeBron James fan, but me personally, I rock with the King. But the NBA, I think the Lakers are doing big things. I think it's going to be interesting between them and the Clippers. in a 7-game series. I like the Lakers' chances in a 7-game series, man. I just think that on that Christmas Day game, I think the Lakers, they let that game get away. I mean, the Clippers are a great team, and I just think they just let it get away. Sherry, I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll take a drink for you. Yeah, so it's a lot of things, man. I mean, if you haven't got a chance, man, you can go follow me on Instagram at Simplyballdroppin. Follow me on Facebook at Simplyballdroppin. I mean, you can go visit the website, and the website will tell you everything about Simplyballdroppin, how Simplyballdroppin was created, how Simplyballdroppin was formed. You can catch that at www.simplyballdroppin.com without the G. That'll tell you everything that how Simplyballdroppin was formed. You know, like I tell people, it ain't just me. I got 6 other people that play an intricate part in Simplyballdroppin. You know, 6 other members. I'm just the man behind the mic. That's all that is. I'm just the man behind the mic, you know, across the airways. This is the voice that you hear across the airways. But there's 6 other, you know, members out there doing it for me. And we do a lot of things. Appreciate you tuning in, Romy Rome. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Thanks for the support, brother. I'll be laughing at some of your stuff, Rome. I just want to touch on a few things, man, about, you know, your post on LeBron, man. It's kind of funny, man. You put a post out there the other day. Pete talking about load management, LeBron load management. Then all of a sudden he gonna play on Christmas. That's kind of funny. I be telling people, man, LeBron is smarter than the average bear, man. He knows how to spin the narrative. And the thing about LeBron is, you know, he gonna play, but sometimes on the basketball court, he does load management on the basketball court as well. So he's not gonna, you know, like the other night when they played Portland, he played. Do you think he was gonna set out against Miami? I mean, not Miami, but Dallas? Nah, he was gonna play, but did you see how he played? Come down the court, just pass the ball, took 10 shots the whole game. He played 36 minutes, but out of the 36 minutes that he played, he probably played about 10 minutes, and that was his load management right there. He was load managing in the game. So it's kind of funny that you be putting the posts out there about load management. I'll be cracking up with some of y'all's posts that I see come across Facebook. But, you know, that's what LeBron do, man. LeBron's smarter than the average bear. But y'all know y'all been seeing that for the last 17 years. So ain't nothing new. So, you know, LeBron going to be LeBron. But your 49ers doing big things, man. So what's your take on them in the NFC? What you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna make it all the way? I mean, you win 2 games, you in the Super Bowl, man. They got a bye. Everything goes through San Francisco, man. So how you feel about that? Let me know. You can chime in and let me know, and we'll chop it up. I got a lot of people that, you know, that's watching that are Redskin fans, man. I hope y'all situation, you know, gets good so y'all can have something to talk about, so y'all can go back and forth with these Redskin fans, with these Dallas fans, so y'all can really have something to talk about. So just let me know. But, you know, for the people that's just tuning in, Christina Perry, thanks for tuning in. I see you. Shout out. But for the people that, you know, don't know where to find me at, I'm on all major platforms. I mean, you can listen to my podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play Music. And also you can go to the website at www.simplyballdroppin.com. Simplyballdroppin.com. You can cop some of the apparel, got the hoodies, got the ball caps. You know, I got the drip. So you can go on the website and you can order that stuff. So you can go check it out. So, hey, Jackie, appreciate you tuning in. I see your daughter doing big things on that basketball court, man. I wish her all the best. We're going to drink to that. Yeah, so it's a lot of things, man. And, man, I'm looking at a little article about Antonio Brown talking about, the Saints brought him in for a publicity stunt. What y'all think about that? That's a false narrative right there. Antonio Brown, man, I think he needs help, man. He ain't been right ever since Dante Burfict, man, laid him out when he was in Pittsburgh, when Burfict hit him with that late hit and he was laid out. I think that did something to him, man. He needs to get checked out. But, other than that, man, the world of sports is popping. We got a lot of things going on. Just want to shout out a few people, man. If they out there watching, man, I want to shout out Mr. V, that's Vaughn Harper, one of the members of Simply Ball Dropping. Al Green is one of the members of Simply Ball Dropping. Imante Hill, one of the members of Simply Ball Dropping. Greg Thomas, one of the members of Simply Ball Dropping. Larry G, if you're looking, one of the members of Simply Ball Dropping. And Rob Bowens, another member of Simply Ball Dropping. They all work behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm just the man behind the mic. This is the voice that you hear coming across the airways. So in 2020, you're going to be hearing more internet radio stations, Simply Ball Dropping. Stay tuned, that's in the works. So we'll be going live on the radio, fan interaction. So it's going to be a great year, man. I'm looking forward to it. For everybody, tuning in. Thanks for the support. And, we're gonna rock out like that. So if y'all have any questions that y'all want me to address, anything in the world of sports, it don't even have to be sports related. It could be anything else, and we're gonna touch on it. So y'all just let me know. Like I said, thanks for tuning in. And once again, I just wanted to come on here, just a quick live session. I might go back live. Might have somebody in the studio with me. When I go back live, I might, have a special guest in the studio. We go live. We can do it up, but appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, I always like all the feedback, all the support. But once again, this is your man, K-Sap, the man behind the mic. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.